Team Human, and then
taking us out today, a new track by the band Eclipsing Binary, who are members of Team Human and sent us this song, The Soul in the Machine. Thanks again for sending that one to us. The special thing I can think of that we regular biological humans have that the robots don't is soul. Is a moral sensibility. Is all the stuff that the arch atheists will say don't exist. That's all we got. The possibility that we live in a moral universe, that we have a conscience, a sensibility, that we come from a place of meaning. And you could say it's not a real thing, that it's like some superstitious projection. But that may be all we have. Robots, they're really good at the what. They're really good at the how. They're better than we are in all those ways. They're gonna be smarter, they're gonna be faster, they're gonna be more productive, but they don't have the why, or to the right and the wrong. As projected as the soul of my little Grogu doll, well, on a certain level, I don't really care. I am fine for the majority or even all of my meaningfulness here in this universe to be a projection of other people projecting that into me. And I promise I will keep projecting that meaning onto you. If we've got nothing else, we've got each other. If we've got nothing else, we've got each other.
So I listened to that Team Human and the song, but what's funny is because I'm like a member of Team Human, so like I get the bonus episodes, and
Okay.
there was a bonus episode, a recent one, not the last one, but the one before that, with this guy that wrote a book called Pop Magic. And so I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is a good one, and I haven't been listening to Team Human, and so I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is cool, and then they talk about a wink from the universe, and I start like laughing because I use the term cosmic giggle, and it's like a very similar like thing that I talked about when I talked to Doug. Anyways, and then later I see your post about that song being played in Team Human, and I'm like, oh, that's funny because I remember hearing it. I was like, dude, Doug has to hear this. He'll get a kick out of it. And then like, you know, like that happens, and then I listened to that episode, and then I listened to him saying, oh yeah, he plays the song by a band called Eclipsing Binary. I was like, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what were you
So
saying
weird.
about Doug?
Oh yeah, I was shy. I didn't know if he was gonna approve of that because some of the feedback that I get for the stuff that I do is most people usually do this on top of like hip hop beats or electronic music.
Yeah.
But I'm a rocker, do hardcore stuff, and but I think it does kind of is useful for the kind of scary stuff that I want to try to portray. Like, it's scary to me, all that AI stuff.
Man, this place is weird. We're stuck in an infinite loop or something.
Yeah. Well, this actually, to tie everything together, which is getting to what me and Eclipse were talking about, is this idea of, I like the phrase black iron prison. I've been like messing around with this idea. It's like comes from Philip K. Dick. Anyways, it's the same concept of the Matrix. It's the same concept, like this like being trapped in like this like loop. anyways you were going into like talking about exploring AI and everything, and then getting feedback from your
so like people say, oh, I would have put it to rock music or whatever, but that's the music that I make, and I think it does serve the purpose of making it scary, which is kind of my intention. I will, I do explore other, it's all within the realm of rock, but like I do explore other types of music, and I do have like some kind of fusion between video game music and some guitar, where I want to tell a more hopeful story, but for the Yuval Noah Harari stuff, which goes into AI sidekicks, I purposely wanted to make sort of hardcore-ish, heavier songs to scare the shit out of people. With the AI stuff.
That's like the similar my attention with like the VaporTest.
Well, as navigator of this venture, I try as much as possible to set out in a direction that in the first place is practically impossible to achieve, and then along the way mess up the minds of the crew with as many chemicals as we can lay our hands on.
DNA is an alien virus. DNA is an alien virus. DNA is an alien virus that it turned previously immortal creatures into separate genders, limited by death. Limited by death. Cut and paste pictures, music, and culture and gender, but they could cut and paste life and death, break the illusion of the other side altogether, liberate from the tyranny of DNA.
It's like, I just want to put like acid like directly into your pineal gland.
And I love this exploration. Is like, okay, I'm afraid of it, but it's coming, so I'm being informed about it, getting informed about it, to kind of reduce the fear and cope with it and like all that stuff. And I guess this is how I'm processing all of it. It just comes out in my music and my art and like all that.
Yeah. It's funny too, like even in that episode, Doug, he's having his own like little weird little crisis, and that's why he's talking to that person he's talking to. And then he said something about like, oh, he's always hesitant to be a leader or a thought leader. They're talking about thought leadership, and then he just says, oh, I'm just the person that is vocalizing what everybody else is feeling, which is true. That's why like, even like, it's so funny, my experience with Team Human and Doug. No matter like I always like kind of like go away, and then I come back, and then it's like, oh, he's talking about the same thing that like I'm like mulling around in my head, you know. I always had that experience with that particular podcast, and that's why I like engage with it in the way I do. Actually, I just sent in their in the Team Human Discord that video that I made. It's called like Pop Magic.
Yeah.
Just to fucking stir up some fun over there.
So, God, I was trying to remember how we found each other. I mean, I feel like I've been sending up little flares in my work to like magical people as a way of saying, you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like I'll just throw in the word sigil here and there, or even words like intention or whatever. And I was trying to think, where did that come from? And what your work reminded me of was
we've talked about this before, this idea of are people's frontal lobes developed enough to handle the power of magic, you know, and the karmic debts, and, you know, the kids who read LaVey, you know, and the karmic debts, and, you know, the kids who read LaVey, and then they evoke, and, you know, the kids who read LaVey, and then they evoke, and, you know, the kids who read LaVey, and then they evoke. We've talked about this before, this idea of are people's frontal lobes developed enough to handle the power of magic, you know, and the karmic debts, and, you know, the kids who read LaVey, and then they evoke a demon, and then their mom gets in a car crash, and they think, oh wait, I thought it was all a joke, and, you know, it's like, you know, what does it mean? And I've often thought about this recently, is this idea of the mainstreaming of magic. Is this good for society, or is this bad for society? Because that's so hilarious that they literally came to you to confide and be like, hey man, I reached the end of the feed, what now? like that feed's not supposed to have an end, it's supposed to be endless.